Hello all, welcome back to the SAS learning sessions. My name is Naga Vemprala. Today we are going to see PROC means procedure. We will discuss the syntax of PROC means and what kind of statistics we will be able to generate out of the means procedure, and how we can store the results, and how uh, we can customize the results in the results tab, that is for the display purpose. So let's get started. We start with two terminologies, measures of dispersion and measures of central tendency. This is what we will get it from means most of the time. So what is this measures of central tendency? So mean, median and mode, these are commonly considered as measures of central tendency. It's a simple arithmetic mean of any particular quantitative variable. So we will be able to generate means if the variable is a numeric variable, a quantitative or a continuous variable. For those kind of variables, a simple sum and by the number of variables give the mean. Median is nothing but the central value of the sample whatever we have taken, and mode is the maximum occurrence of a particular value in our sample. Most of the times mean and median, they play a crucial role, and we will see um, how our statistics, visual statistics, basically depend on mean and median most of the time. When we go further into SAS sessions, like when we discuss about plotting the data, we will see the significance in a little more detail. And measures of central dispersion, standard deviation and variance are considered as measures of central dispersion. It's a meaning itself that says that how far the value is deviating from a particular other value, that is the variance. So here standard deviation is a particular measure that gives how far a observed value is deviating from the mean. And variance, in lot of other statistics, we will be using a variance which is nothing but the square of standard deviation. So if we depict this particular thing in graphical format, we have to go with a uh, standard normal distribution curve. Okay, this is whenever we discuss about statistics, all the statistics that we generate, that depends on a theorem called central limit theorem. I just copied the what the central limit theorem says from Wikipedia, but in the simple terminology I will say, if we plot a particular sample on a graph around the mean, it follows a curve like this if our observations are large enough. What I mean is, if we have some three observations, for example, I am taking observation which is falling around here, and the other observation is falling here, and the third observation is somewhat falling here. So if I graph, if I plot a simple smooth curve around these three observations, it might not fall a bell curve like this. But if our observations are large enough, like if I have taken hundreds of observations or thousands of observations or even more than that, then if I plot all these observations on a graph, they go with a smooth bell shaped curve like this, and we our all our statistics we will be able to generate just by taking a sample out of that particular population. So for the whole population, it follows a standard normal distribution curve like this. It's a standardized curve, so I have a which is having a mean of 0 and a standard deviation of 1. Now if I am going to say about one particular observation which I have taken somewhere here like this, so if I am going to say it in terms of mean, that is nothing but standard deviation. So if I say about this particular point, it is 1.5 times, it is deviating 1.5 times from the mean. So standard deviation is a measure which will be telling us how far a particular variable is deviating from its mean. So these are the few basic minimum statistics we will be able to generate out of mean. Standard error, kurtosis, skewness, and the bottom 10 percentile, 90 percentile, and confidence interval, interquartile quartile ranges. This is like first quarter and the second quarter. So like that we have so many other statistics we will be able to generate out of means procedure on a particular data set. For any procedure we have to give on what data we want to generate. We want to apply this particular procedure. So here I am going to run the statistics on shoes dataset of SAS help library, and the variables, continuous variables I have taken are sales, inventory, and returns, and the region is the class variable. It's a nominal variable, and I am saving the output in shoe sales analysis. So if I run this particular piece of code, here is what my results tab looks like. When the code is not having any errors, I got the results tab like this. For each and every class variable, which is a region, I got sales, inventory, and returns. These were variables values. I got it. Here it is the mean, the total mean, standard error, standard deviation, and other statistics. I got it. So there are 56 observations in Africa region, 14 in Asia, and appropriately the mean of the sales, mean of sales in region Africa, I got it. Next, inventory, and then returns. Like that I got it for each and every region. So here PROC means and PROC summary, they both generate the same statistics. The difference between PROC means and PROC summary is if we give no print option, we will not be getting the results in results tab. Only output dataset is generated. We will see a little about this output dataset in the next example. So if we don't give a no print option, we will be getting the results here. If we give no print, the result is same as what we get it from summary, PROC summary. So we are covering both PROC summary and PROC means in our session today. Now class variable. Apart from class variable, we can give a by variable if the data is in sorted fashion. The class variable adds a little overhead to our processing logic, I mean the processor. So if we know that the data is already sorted, and then we can use a by variable. There is a slight difference in the way output appears. So by using a by variable, we are generating the same statistics. We first just observe the data here. The results tab, we have region, and the results are stored like this. But if we apply a by variable, there is a slight difference in the way output appears. Now we got the same statistics again, but the thing is, by region the report has been split into. So here the report is split into region. Africa went into one particular table, Asia into another, Canada into other. So it depends on how we want to see the results, and how we want to report them, and whether the data is already in sorted fashion or not. Here we can ignore if the result is the data is already sorted, but here the bare minimum requirement is the data should be in the sorted fashion. Moving on, we will try to apply a format to the quantitative variable or our continuous variable. and see how it changes. Now I have taken a format on stores. Here I have applied a format, whatever the format I'm creating, that I am applying on stores variable. So if the stores are up to 0 to 5, up to 5 stores, then the spread is a little less, and if it is in between 5 to 10, moderately spread across that region, the stores are moderately spread, and highly spread regions are also there in our data. Now I applied the format. We can use this format on this stores, the store spread. Now I am calculating sales, inventory, and return statistics. But here I am considering only mean and standard deviation. Again, I am saying the overwriting the results on the dataset whatever I have created, which is shoe sales analysis. But now I have used a summary. So as we have seen previously, if PROC summary is used, the results tab should display nothing. So we don't get anything here. And in the output, our dataset is created. So we will see about this type variable a little later. So here we have got the statistics. So number of observations considered, um, 325. We can even change the format. The maximum of maximum value, mean, all these things, all other statistics we got. Here, if we give means instead of summary, we should be getting mean and standard deviation alone displayed into the results section. Mean and standard deviation are displayed for each and every region. Now, as we have applied this format, low, medium, and high are coming for every region. There are low, medium, and high. How many are there? So we have around 56 56 stores previously for Africa, and we have displayed the statistics. Now we have considered extra variable number of stores, but we have considered that as a spread by applying format. So now the report is further divided into number of stores spread across region. If we try to understand the output data, we have a type variable 0, 1, 2, 3. So what is this type variable? If the type variable value is 3, we have considered uh, the region spread and both the variables. Along with that, we have taken the summary. So here, if it is just 0, so without considering everything, we have taken the full statistics. So if we have taken just if the type is just 1, for all the low spread regions, what are the statistics? So for all the medium spread, like that. So here the type, if we want only the type 3, by considering both the class variables whatever we have taken, which is nothing but region and the stores spread, we have to go for type 3 records. So the type 3 records gives for region Africa and the low spread, what is the mean or the statistic whatever we have here for this particular record. The minimum sale is $801, like that. So here, if we consider only the type 2, we are considering either region or stores. Type 1, just one particular region, like that it is. But in the results tab, it displays by considering both these things, and the output result will be displayed. Only in the while saving in the output data, as we have the type variable, we have flexibility, like whatever the value we want to consider, we can use it. Now, just if we want to in the output data, if you look at into the output data, each and every record is having that appropriate value. Here if you see, max value is here for sales, inventory, and return. But if I want to have my own variable created, own column created, and it should be displaying the maximum of sales here as a column and maximum of inventory here as a column, then I can give my own variable names. If we give just a auto name, and we can leave it without giving our own names. If I want to have my own names, I can give mean is equal to what